Drone's going up, watch yourselves. 4 blades, 4 for 4. Alright, so welcome to TomAir. Today we're not flying airplanes, we're actually at Niagara Falls, and we're here because I'm doing my actual day job, which is flying heavy lift drones. Today we're flying heavy lift drones for a tourism commercial that's shooting in Niagara Falls. It's just down the road from where I live. It's one of the places we fly quite often. Drone Boy is my company that does drone work. We specialize in flying here at Niagara Falls. We've flown drones here probably 25 times in the last 10 years since we've been in operation. It's a difficult place to fly. There's lots of rules and regulations. It's a very challenging place to fly, but the payoff is huge. It's amazing because you get to see, I mean, it's not officially considered one of the wonders of the world, but I kind of consider it in my mind one of the wonders of the world. Certainly in Canada, it's a Canadian wonder of the world. It's absolutely spectacular, especially on a day like today. There's not a cloud in the sky. There's tourists everywhere. For good reason. This place looks great, and I feel very privileged to be able to operate here, to be able to work here, to have a job where I get to get paid to fly drones at a fantastic place and capture high-res images of a place like this. It's kind of a dream come true, and I just wanted to share that with you, so enjoy. It's a difficult place to operate drones. There's lots of reasons for that. Some of them are things like there's helicopter tours basically running all day long. I'm surprised there's not a helicopter flying overhead right now. There's lots of tourists. Excuse me, Bell, on your left. Lots of tourists. It's restricted airspace. The airspace over top of Niagara Falls is actually known as CYR 518. So that's a fancy term for don't fly drones here. It's actually a Transport Canada restricted airspace designation. It means this airspace is pretty critical. It's highly managed. You need special permission to go there. Even with my airplane, there's only I can only go as low as 2,500 feet above the ground or above sea level here, and I have to do a certain pattern. The helicopter tours are at a different pattern, and then when we do drone stuff, we have to apply like 2 weeks in advance in order to get a special CYR 518 restricted airspace permission for this spot. So there's a lot going on. There's a whole bunch of people. There's a whole bunch of user agencies. There's basically parks, Niagara Parks and Tourism. There's the city. There's the folks that run the helicopter tours. There's the folks that run the zip lines. There's all these different people that kind of own and manage this area and want to control it. So we have to get permits from all of these people. We have to pay them. We have to get cops. We have to apply to Transport Canada. We have to deal with Nav Canada. There's all kinds of stuff we have to do in order to work at Niagara Falls. But the nice thing about it is it's actually one of the most picturesque places in Canada. I mean, look at what we've got here. This is absolutely stunning. On a beautiful day like today, the mist is going the right way, so we're not going to get very wet. It's a fantastic place to fly drones, but you have to do it legally. If you don't do it legally, you're going to get your drone taken away, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So don't screw around at Niagara Falls, is basically what I'm saying. Today we're here on a commercial shoot. We're shooting for a tourism spot. So we obviously have all the right permissions in place. We've got a great location that we've never launched from before. We're going to be launching, I'll show you in a second, we're going to be launching from down below at the end of the tunnel. There's a tunnel that connects from here to one of the old generating stations, and they've made it into an attraction. Niagara Falls is full of attractions. They're always looking for more stuff for the tourists to do, because the falls, you know, you look at the falls and then that's it, so they want to have other stuff for them to do. So we're going to be launching from the bottom of the falls at the entrance to the tunnel, and it's going to be a pretty cool place to launch from, although it's going to be tricky as well because there's no GPS down there. It's a very small spot, and hopefully it's not wet. But what I'm seeing so far, the mist cloud's blowing the right way, and I think we're going to be up for a very good day, a good mission here at Niagara Falls. So let's go down. I'm going to show you where we're going to launch from because that's going to look pretty cool. You can see it from above. So yeah, like I said, lots of stuff to watch out for. There's mist, there's weird wind currents, there's the people on the Maid of the Mist. Like, I mean, look at, they're all wearing garbage bags because they're going to get so friggin' wet. we're down there as well. So we've got to anticipate that we're going to get wet. The drone's going to be completely waterproof. The gimbal's camera's going to be waterproof. We've actually got a rain spinner on board. Still, it's wet. So that little platform that sticks out, that's where it used to be the outflow for the generating station. The first generating station that's upriver. I believe they decommissioned it in 2006. So since then it's been sitting not running, and they decided they wanted to do something with it, so they made it into this tourist attraction. Tonight, after it's closed to tourists, we're going to be down there shooting at tourism spots. There's going to be 2 actors sitting on the railing, our drone flying around looking at them, and then we're going to do another shot where they're looking up at the falls and we're seeing the falls. So we actually have 2 drones on this job, 2 ALTA X's, and they're configured 2 different ways. So one of the X's is in sky view mode, so it looks up. That'll be for the looking up at the falls shot, obviously. The other drone is set in underslung mode to look down for the wraparound shot where we're looking at the 2 actors standing on the railing. So it's cool that we have 2 machines and we can configure them separately. They're not obviously flying at the same time, but it's going to make for a much quicker turnaround because we're trying to do this shot right at magic hour, right when the light is perfect. So if we had to screw around with changing the drone from underslung to top mount, that would take a half an hour. There's no time to do that. So we're just going to be able to go flip, flip. I mean, that's the plan anyway. Flip, flip, underslung to top mount, sky view. Awesome. Drone Boy's been flying Niagara Falls for almost 10 years since we first started flying drones. This is one of the first really challenging places that I came to fly. It was a lot of paperwork to fly here. Even back then, it was very tricky airspace to fly, and it's even trickier now. I felt like, well, when I first flew here, I called it the Drone Everest. It was such a big deal for me. I remember I had my guts were all tight, and I had adrenaline rush, and it was so stressful sending the drone out over the falls. I mean, now I've done it dozens of times. It's still stressful a little bit, but it's not what it used to be. I mean, we've done it so much, but I mean, you definitely don't want to take it for granted. There's so many things that could bite you in the ass down here flying a drone, especially a heavy lift drone like we're doing today with a cinema camera. We're flying, I think, the Area LF. I haven't seen the camera body yet. I think we're flying the LF, cinema lens. There's a lot of money dangling from a string out over the edge of the falls. So we can't fuck it up, if you know what I mean. And we're not gonna. So far we're batting 100% down here, and we're gonna keep that batting average up forever. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to do a TomAir episode where we're not flying airplanes, but we're still flying stuff. I mean, the thing with drones, I got into drones actually before I started flying airplanes, if you can believe it. I started doing my drone license. I was doing my ground school. I was like, wow, this was 10 years ago. I was like, this is really intense. There's a whole lot of stuff they need us to learn in order to fly drones. And I said to myself, well, I always wanted to fly airplanes. Let's see what the difference is between doing my ground school for airplanes and doing it for drones. It turns out it was basically the same syllabus, is that the word for it? The same curriculum, I think that's the word. And I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go all the way. I'm gonna learn how to fly airplanes and drones at the same time. So got my drone license obviously first. That was a little easier. Within 2 years I had my airplane license. Now we own a little airplane and get to fly to the drone gig sometimes. Obviously we didn't fly down here to Niagara Falls, but a couple weeks ago we flew to a job in Winnipeg. Got to fly to a job in Thunder Bay the other day. It's really cool the way these different aviation things, drones and airplanes, kind of came together magically for me. And it's friggin' awesome. I love all aspects of flying. I love being at the controls in the plane. I love being on the ground, looking at the drone, seeing what it sees from the ground. I like wearing the goggles and flying FPV. So this is Matt Joniak, our camera operator for today. Well, he's my main camera operator, actually. We're kind of, when you're a drone pilot, you're sort of married at the hip to your camera operator. You you develop a relationship, you learn to work with a guy, you trust him, you like him a little bit. He lives down the road, he keeps coming over. He likes coffee, apparently, so the espresso machine lures him in. And he's actually darn good at working with cameras. He knows.
I'm pretty good.
He's pretty handy with the camera. Unlike me, who overexposes everything. Let me just change that a little. There we go. That's looking better. See, me no camera operator, Matt's camera operator. Oh, but now you're a little underexposed.
That's okay.
I can expose for you and your camera. So what are we flying today, Matt?
Should I have a mic on?
No, I unplugged the mic. So.
Oh, okay. Well, today we've got a Airy Mini LF with some Panavision glass that we're putting on the drone. We got the Movi Pro that's kitted out with all of our wonderful Ignite Digi accessories, which we love. So today, we've got 2 drones. We're going to be flying one ALTA X underslung and one overslung in top mount. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And we're probably eventually going to have a Filmotechnic rain spinner on the front as well to keep all the mist from the falls off of us.
To battle the rain.
Yeah, it does get a little moist down there.
So what kind of camera is that?
It's an Airy Mini LF.
And what does that cost?
Lots. Yeah, that's probably about 100 grand.
Let's not drop it in the water, how about?
No, it's insured.
Yeah, not by us. And then there's the third member of our team. The third and most important member of our team, Mr. Bell, Mr. Eric Bell. Every professional drone team needs to have a dedicated safety, aka observer / spotter, somebody who's looking at the big picture, making sure nothing's going wrong, there's no one about to walk into the drone, me and Matt aren't about to do something stupid. Another set of eyes, the sober third thought.
I thought you were going to say a secondary pilot, but...
Well, Eric's real job with Drone Boy, he's not actually just a spotter. He's our all-star FPV pilot, which we'll talk about on another episode when we're doing an FPV spot. But Eric's much more than just the safety. But today he's the safety. And the BTS shooter.
Yeah.
Except for right now, because I'm shooting the BTS.
You are?
I am. I'm shooting the BTS. Oh, fuck. I'm shooting the BTS.
Saw a guy in one of those going down the street like this, doing anime flight.
Oh,
That was him.
you.
I
thought so.
Who else would it be? So yeah, it's a little more moist than we were hoping. It's moist down here. It's fine. The drone is totally fine in weather like this. We do worry about the camera. Obviously, it's not ours; it's a rental, but we still need to take care of it. We respect other people's gear as much as we respect our own. The gimbal, the stabilized head, the Movi Pro that we fly, we have flown on wet days like this where it's gotten so wet that it's just kind of gone and stopped being a stabilized head, and it started being just a non-stabilized, hangy, droopy thing. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So we're waterproofing as much as we can. We're putting press and seal on the drone, press and seal certainly on the gimbal and on the camera as much as we can. But then the danger there is you put it over top of the intakes and it overheats and the camera doesn't like it. So it's a balancing act when you're in difficult situations like this. But this isn't bad. But there's a considerable amount of mist. If we're flying for a 12-minute flight, the other thing is the drone is pushing all this air. So any moisture that's anywhere around the drone, it goes right on the camera. So it's like a big vacuum cleaner, but we'll do what we can.
What do you got there?
We got here a rain spinner from our friends at Filmotechnic Canada.
What the hell's a rain spinner do?
Well, you see, when we're flying close to Niagara Falls, all the mist in the water is going to bombard the camera and make the image unusable. So this handy-dandy rain spinner, all the water hits it, just
It's
goes
magic.
away. It's magic. It's wonderful. And we can fly it on our drone.
I'm going to introduce you to Tom. He's our head drone op. His teammates are Matt and Eric.
Eric.
Whatever they say about the drones precedes anything anybody else thinks or says about the drones. The basic notes are, nobody is to be on the platform when we launch, and nobody is to be on the platform when we land. Tom, any other notes?
Yeah, so basically we got our big drone here today. We got the ALTA X. We've got one mounted.
Please, safety meeting.
We got one with the camera mounted on the top. We got one with the camera mounted on the bottom, so we can do a quick change between. Really makes no difference. They all needed to be treated with the same amount of respect. Safety is our #1 concern. So when we're launching and landing the drone, we don't want anybody on the outer platform. We want everybody in here behind the carts. Whatever cart is closest to the entrance, you got to be behind that cart, behind the monitors, all that stuff. We'll launch the drone. We'll head out over the falls to relative safety for the people that are on land, and then we can place our actors. Then we can block our shots and get our shots. The drone will stay out there. If at any point we're having difficulties with the drone, it's acting unusual, that's an emergency. My hands are full. I'm controlling the drone. I'm trying to keep it safe. I'm just going to start yelling, drone emergency, drone emergency, drone emergency. Eric's our safety. He's got an air horn. We're going to blow that air horn 3 times. Either of those 2 things happen, just get your butt back in the tunnel. Talent, cameras, anybody who's out here, just get in the tunnel. Anybody who doesn't need to be out there, don't go out there, because 1, you'll be in the shot, 2, you're in potentially the danger zone with the drone. So if at any point we say, get back in the tunnel, or we start yelling, just get your butts back in here. Before we come into land, so we're gonna have to make sure we keep a close eye on our battery. When our battery starts getting close to the bottom of the tank, I'm gonna say, okay, we gotta land. Let's get the talent back inside. Let's get everyone back inside. We'll land. And then it's not until I say drone is safe that people can come back out and we can start doing our normal
So
jobs.
to that end, I'm going to be shadowing Tom so that whatever he communicates, I'll be able to hear. And I've got a nice loud voice, so if you hear me say get in the tunnel or clear, 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 get in the tunnel. Don't be out there if you don't need to be. It's wet, and if you're in the shot, it makes it very hard for us. Does anybody have any questions about what we're doing?
Drone's going up, watch yourselves. 4 blades, 4 for 4. Program, so we do have program, that's good. Drone safe. That's a wrap. Magic words. All right, well, thanks for having us.
Cool. Okay, safe travels.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how it works out.
That's great.
All right, see you on the next one.
Okay, see you, Tom. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having
That
us.
was awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for the
Appreciate it.
opportunity.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
Always fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, typical drone shoot.
Hey guys, Tom Comet here.
Tom Comet here, Niagara Falls. Typical drone shoot. We best laid plans. I mean, we had everything prepped. Everything was great, and the shoot went fucking great. But I mean, it's total chaos like usual. It's like we had 15 minutes. They needed the blue look on the falls. and then other people that somebody was changing the lights that we had no control over, so we had like very little time. We had 2 different configurations, top mount, underslung, but we had such a great team. We pulled it off, and they loved the shot. And we got to do something we've never done before, which is launch from this location at the bottom of the falls. We got super wet, but we had the rain spinner, so it kept the lens dry. And the shots looked fucking amazing. And they were all super happy. You're happy, Alex? They seem pretty happy.
We are all very, very delighted.
Awesome.
Fantastic work. I love your team. I love you guys. You did a fantastic job. Thank you very much.
Thanks for
Everybody's
having us.
safe.
Yeah.
Shit looked amazing.
And we got to do something we've never done before at the bottom of the Niagara Falls.
Yeah, it's amazing. And considering all the curveballs
Oh
they
my
threw at
God.
us,
And
I'm
the time
surprised.
constraints. Like,
The time, holy
oh,
shit, you
God.
got 5 minutes. You got
Thank
2
God
minutes.
we had 2 machines.
That was the saving
We only
grace.
just
That
got
was your idea. and
Yeah, we just got that second one too.
The DP said to me later, he goes, next time I want a drone per lens.
Oh, perfect. Well, we'll buy 5
course you
more.
did. Yeah, that's good for you guys.
Yeah, they're only 40 grand a piece.
They're only 40 a piece, right? No, we got such great drama. I think this stuff, looking at them,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's definitely
That
in the
looks
spot.
so good. That looks
And
so
what
good.
he's thinking now is he might do like a graded edit where he'll use some of that earlier stuff and then slam into this darker, moodier.
It was so spooky, man. It felt like a horror movie. I was like getting creeped out.
I was thinking, I'm old enough, King Kong.
Yeah.
When the boat comes out and the mist clears and then they see the big fence, that's
Yeah.
what it looked like.
Yeah. Cool.
Nah, awesome job, guys.
Ah,
Great
thank
work.
you. Thanks for having
Get
us.
out of here safely.
We'll see you on the next one. We're gonna be
and
a
I'm
while.
gonna remember this.
Did you get all that? Awesome. That's fucking gold. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to TomAir. Subscribe to Drone Boy. Go to Drone Boy Cinema on Instagram, droneboy.com, tomair.tv on YouTube, and yeah, you'll see us fly all kinds of stuff from drones to airplanes to who knows what. Am I out of gas?
You might be.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's out of gas.
Fuck. Gotta walk home. Goddamn electric vehicles. I'm out of gas. I mean, I'm out of electrons. Eric, can you give me a lift?